Can you explain to me how a user request goes from the user to an application running inside a pod in a Kubernetes cluster? I can guarantee you that this question is going to come up in your next DevOps or Kubernetes interview. This question actually demonstrates to the interviewer that you actually understand Kubernetes to a deeper level. The first thing that happens is that when a user types in your application name on the browser, the first thing that happens is DNS resolution. So your browser is going to contact your DNS resolver to resolve that particular domain name to an IP address. Now, if this process fails, then there's a problem. Now, usually, this is the first line of troubleshooting when users are not able to access your application. Now, if DNS was successful, your browser was able to resolve your DNS to an IP address, then it goes to the next stage. The IP address returned by the DNS resolver is usually the IP address of the load balancer. Your request is routed to the load balancer IP address or to the load balancer itself. This is where it gets really interesting. Assuming that you are using an ingress to expose your application, in that case, you need to install an ingress controller. Ingress controller is an object within Kubernetes. It's usually a proxy to evaluate traffic rules and then forward the request to the appropriate back-end service. Your ingress controller is an application or a pod running inside the cluster. So in order for you to expose it to the external world so that people can actually access it, you need to expose it using a service type of load balancer, or you can simply go with a node port. For a production environment, load balancer is the standard for that. By using AWS, immediately you install your ingress controller. Your ingress controller is going to provision a service type of a load balancer, and that service type is going to provision a load balancer in your cloud environment. The endpoint of that load balancer is what the DNS resolution from your client accessing your application is going to resolve to. So you should map the domain name of your application to the load balancer of the ingress controller. Once the traffic gets to the ingress controller is going to evaluate your request against all the rules given to it. You must have created an ingress resource in your cluster. Now, the ingress resource is like a rule given to the ingress controller to tell the ingress controller what to do when a particular traffic that has certain parameter comes in. So your ingress controller is going to evaluate the rule, and based on the rule, is going to route the request to a particular back service. Once the traffic gets to the service,